Our next guest is a TV personality and host who we all know from Real Housewives of Atlanta. But now that she's turned in her peach, she's here to give us the scoop on her new book, her new show, and her new man. Please welcome Porsha Williams. You look absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you.
It's good to be back. I haven't been
I feel like
to
you
the
guys
room
match on that
so
side.
long.
I know.
Right, let's take a picture, girl.
Right.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna jump right into this. You obviously created quite the stir when you announced your engagement to former Real Housewives of Atlanta co-star's ex-husband. It was a lot I had to say right there. Simon Guobadia, is that the correct way to say his name?
Guobadia.
There you go,
Guobadia.
Guobadia. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you have to say to people who had so much speculation around your relationship?
Keep talking.
Okay.
Keep talking, keep blogging, keep commenting. You know, that's what this is about. It's a platform, and every time I create conversation, whether you're saying something bad or good, it's more ears for me. So I have my book now, The Pursuit of Porsha.
Yes.
And it's always good when the camera's on you or people's watching, you have something to say. And I have a lot to say, so it is really good.
Well, I want to know
never
what
been
you have to
shy
say.
about saying some stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that's why
Always.
people fell in love with you.
Yeah.
What do you say to people that say that, you know, because when we met Fallon, she was your friend.
Right.
And so people kind of like came at you for saying, well, did you take your friend's man?
Well, we were cast, she was supposed to be casted on a show, which was the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it's common knowledge that if you're bringing in someone new, they're introduced by someone who's been there for a while.
Yeah.
And, you know, it didn't work out as any kind of friendship. It didn't pan out just naturally.
Yeah.
We end up gravitating to who you want to gravitate towards.
Sure.
You know how it is, Garcelle.
Yeah, I sure do.
And so there really wasn't that type of relationship there.
Okay.
But can I ask you a question, though? When you saw him, was there anything that you were like, even without...
Initially.
Initially,
Yeah. Was
no.
there anything?
No, not at all. You know, actually, being in Atlanta is so small. I actually have mutual friends with Simon.
Oh.
So I've met him here and there, didn't really remember, didn't even remember him when I met him on the show again. He had to remind me, like, girl, I've met you a couple times at one of my clubs, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, then when did it come romantical?
Romantical.
It was after everything.
Yeah.
It honestly was after all the dust had settled. You know, divorce had been filed and things like that.
Okay.
And now
It
you
was
are
natural.
engaged.
Yes.
She's like, yes.
I don't
We
know.
are
I can't
together.
see the
See that ring, girl.
We
Show the
can see
ring.
We is together, honey.
When is the
love
wedding?
it.
When is the wedding? Because it was some issue about the wedding. So clear
Yeah,
that
there
up.
was
for
an
me.
interview that went viral and people were
Girl,
like,
Exactly.
Ain't no issue. But the issue is people is nosy. But let me tell you this. What's so crazy is all of that ruckus about me not having a date. My family sat me down because I went back home for like one day from my book tour. And my mom, my grandmother, and my aunt were over there. And my grandmother, she's old school. She's like, what's this about you not having a date? Long story short, my grandmother, my mom, and my aunt set a wedding day for us. So we now have a wedding date. We also have a name for one of our future kids.
Okay.
I'll reveal that later on.
Okay.
So you're planning.
Yes.
okay, and Simon is
my
down for the
grandma
date.
was like, I'm old school. This man has asked you to marry him.
Right.
You are
Right.
dragging your feet.
Right.
You know, I was just waiting. We just bought a home. I wanted to settle in, and then planning a wedding
So
is
you're
a
not
whole
gonna tell
thing.
me the date, Porsha?
I will. 'Cause you're gonna be there. You're gonna be there.
Is it gonna be soon?
All y'all gonna be there. All y'all
Oh
gonna
my
be
God,
there.
that would be
Okay,
amazing.
all right,
I
I'll
love
take
y'all.
that.
You know I love y'all.
Okay.
I love that. So, Porsha, we first met you 10 years ago when you
Yes.
became
Crazy.
officially a Housewives of Atlanta. I want to know, looking back, what would Porsha today tell that Porsha now?
That question means so much more to me now since writing The Pursuit of Porsha, because it's not just the Porsha that everyone met on Housewives and saw their journey. It's all the way back from when I was a child.
I love that.
And those hard times I grew up in, the 20 to 30 from 20 to 30 years old. I would tell her to never stop. Never stop. Always trust your faith walk.
Yeah.
Know that tomorrow is coming, because a lot of times in my past, I let my circumstance block me in, and I called it a bubble. My world got so small, and it added to my depression. And so I would tell her, believe in yourself. You are worth it, and a brighter day is coming.
I hear
And a
that.
brighter day is
That's
coming
a word.
because you went from Real Housewives of Atlanta to your own Bravo show,
Yeah.
which is called Porsha Family Matters,
Yes.
which I told you was gonna get.
You did, long time ago, at the Bronner Brothers show. Where were we? Somewhere.
Exactly. Okay. And you know what? This is the thing. You go from an ensemble to the lead. How does that feel?
Baby, my family gives the Real Housewives a run for their money.
Ooh.
Okay? We have Kenya times 10. We've got Nene times 10. My family, let me tell you something, dealing with everything, people are like, oh, she's running from the Housewives in the storyline. Once you see my show, it's like, is this what you wanted, sis? You wanted your family on TV.
Really?
But we just keep it real. My family has always been very raw. We love hard. And we like to be honest with each other and hold each other accountable. So the blending is not easy.
Who's gonna be the breakout star?
The breakout star they say now is Dennis and my grandmother.
Oh, really?
My grandmother, Iona, and, but actually last episode, I would have to say they also said my Aunt Liz, who is my grandfather, Reverend Jose Williams' daughter. So.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody, they all crazy about it.
No,
Yeah.
this
So it's a
show
great
is
cast.
something for people to really look at because you have both your fiance and your ex, Dennis McKinley. They appear in the show. How has it been filming with both of them?
A hot mess.
She said Dennis is a breakout star.
Baby, listen, you know, Simon is my everything, and it's nothing like having somebody that is loyal. And I feel like as I was filming the show, it's like, you don't, when you look at it, it's like, wow, my mind frame was totally different. I thought I could blend my family one way when the reality needed to be another way. So by the end of the show, I start to realize the reality I'm living in.
Wow.
And it's not exactly this picture perfect thing that I had in mind.
It's real life.
It's real life.
It's real life.
It's real life.
So speaking of that cast of your new show to the new cast of Housewives of Atlanta, what do you think about the new cast members? Are they gonna miss you, really, is the question?
Yeah, they're gonna miss me, and parts of me miss them. I've had a relationship with these ladies for 10 years. You know, I think you would even miss your enemy 10 years, just the going back and forth.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll say something shady, I'll be like, that would have been good for one of the girls. You know what I'm saying? I think they're gonna do well. Listen, I want the franchise to survive even without me. You know, I'm not one of those ones that leaves a show and then wants it to sink.
Right.
So I would love for them to be there and do well.
And would you go back?
We never know.
Okay.
You never know.
Love
And that's
that.
one of the reasons why I'm wishing them well. It's good to see good sisters on TV. I want them to go
Amen.
back to the sisterhood. You know, all that bickering is good, but don't you enjoy when your show is like the relationship, them
Yes.
helping you through something?
Yes.
If they can get back to that, I think we will survive.
Good.
Well,
Wow.
we recently had Andy Cohen on the show, and we asked, obviously, about potentially bringing Nene Leakes back. And take a look at what he had to say.
We're in the midst of shooting season 14 of the Atlanta Housewives, and it's great. And Marlo has her peach, and Sheree is back, and we have some new faces and some great faces, and Kenya Moore is on fire. And so I am really focused right now on season 14 of the Housewives of Atlanta, and not really looking beyond that right now.
So we obviously had just asked him about Nene coming back to the show.
Okay.
Why do you think he was hesitant in this clip?
You couldn't tell that from the answer. I thought you would ask him who the cast was.
No.
Listen, I think that when the time is right, it'll happen for both parties. I honestly do. And we always wish Nene well. We love her. We're all in prayer for her. I know that Andy is as well. So she needs some time, and maybe he does too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about
yeah.
right. Porsha, you've come full circle, I feel, in a way, in terms of we've seen you grow, we've seen you become an activist, especially with Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Why is that so important to you, and what is something that you would like to see change right now?
Well, I definitely have been working with Ben and Jerry. Y'all know Ben and Jerry ice cream?
Yeah.
Well, they are big time activists, and they are working on ending qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is what stops the police from being prosecuted when they wrong us, the public.
Right.
So a lot of these families whose family members have been assaulted, et cetera, when they go to court, they are protected by qualified immunity, and we want to end that. So that's been the campaign that I've been working on
That's
as of all
incredible.
summer, and got a big plan going on. It's coming up soon.
Now, Porsha, let's talk about your new book.
Yes.
Your book, which is titled The Pursuit of Porsha, How I Grew Into My Power and Purpose. Now, in the book, you reveal that you had an involvement with singer R. Kelly. Tell us a little bit more about that and, you know, why you wanted to share that light on it.
I wanted to touch on different topics in my book because I finally got to a place where I could. You know, being on reality TV, the big question is like, why now? Well, I had to deal with myself. I had to get to a place where I found my voice and could be able to talk about different situations with men that were unhealthy. R. Kelly is just one of them.
Yeah.
If you read the book, there are several different unfortunate situations. And for me, I know that there is a woman out there, there's a girl out there who's dealing with it and she feels alone. And a lot of prayer, a lot of heartache went into me getting to this place. And the best way for me was sitting down during quarantine and getting it out. A lot of what I said out loud in this book, I've never said before. So it was a very vulnerable place to be in. And after talking to a lot of people that I've met, I'm glad that I was able to do it.
Yeah, good.
You're saying that you had to be really transparent and you finally are getting these things out for the first time. Was there any specific thing that you were like, man, this is the hardest thing to put in this book?
Yeah. I think a lot of women talk about daddy issues or whatever. And for me to talk about the moment where my father died when I was around 17 and then continued as I was writing the book, looked at how that affected my life, that was very difficult because I realized I was not only looking for this father figure, I was looking for love in the wrong places. And I did not know who I was, so I only saw myself through men's eyes. I wanted to be whatever they wanted me to be. And it wasn't until after my divorce that I truly said, you know what? I want to find Porsha. Not just how people say you get a divorce. I want to go back to who I was before. I wanted to be a new Porsha because I wanted to stop the patterns in my life. And that is where the book, chronologically has it in order of everything that I had gone through. So it really talks about my process.
Wow. And you know, it's really hard writing a book, you know, especially like this when it's about your life.
Yeah.
Did you have to give a heads up to somebody once it was done? Because I know I did. I had to tell my mama.
Really?
I was like,
Me
oh,
too.
I talked about you in the book. Who was your heads up?
My mama.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
So why is that?
Why for you?
Man, my mama, I'm from the South. And my mama, you know, you don't tell your mama business, okay? That's what you don't do. But I wanted to stay as close to the truth as possible. And my mother and I are so close, and I get my faith walk from my mom. So I wanted to talk about her faith. So in order for me to talk about her faith, I had to talk about her losses and how she walked without anything and got it back.
Wow.
And so she read the book the other day, and she was like, babe, she was crying, you know, it was a good book and all that. She said, but how the hell you done told my business? When I had her house. Right. And so
Like she didn't have.
Yeah.
Wow, how
She
that's
wants
gonna
some
help
residual.
people.
Right. But you gotta just, I had to. I was like, Mom, that's the part I didn't tell you, but you gave me the okay, so I ran with it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's about having a faith walk. I've seen my mom walk into a building, want to get a 10,000 square foot childcare center, no money, no credit, no nothing, and she just know that God said she's supposed to have it, and she walk out there with the key.
Ooh.
So for me, I had to put it in there,
You had
Mommy.
to do it.
Yeah, and hopefully that's gonna inspire or encourage somebody that
And
they too can do it.
It absolutely
Exactly.
will. The
Yeah.
book is not just about situations with men. It's also about being an entrepreneur and those losses and those highs and lows.
Absolutely. Well, Porsha,
for
thank
you.
you so much for stopping by and
Thank
sharing
you.
all of this with us. Her book is called The Pursuit of Porsha, How I Grew Into My Power and Purpose.
Yes.
And guess what, Real Fam? Porsha wants to hook you up. So head on over to thereal.com to enter for a chance to win a copy of your very own
good.